Okay, good day. Today we're going to discuss about behavior economics. So, what is behavior economics? And then we follow it by my research about how to examine the behavior of economics. Let's go to the slide. Okay, what is behavior economics? The concept of behavior economics spring from the research gap, where traditionally economics argue that to understand how decision-making process, it's rely on assumption. It's mean that uh, economic argue that all preference are defined and stable across time and a time based on rationality. This is the assumption of economics. And behavior economic try to introduce something different from the idea of assumptions in economics. It was Richard Taylor. He got the Nobel Prize in 2016. He also acknowledged as a father of behavior economics who combined insight from economics, psychology, judgment and decision making to understand human behavior. So again, behavior economics is about to understand how human behavior, especially in decision making process. Okay, one of the Taylor idea is about they create something, they create the behavioral science teams. The team called as newts. So the team has assignments or is tasked to make a change in public and private organizations around the globe. He also wrote books in 2008 called Newts, Improving Decisions for Health, Wealth, and Happiness. So they argue that there's opportunity to change the behavior by introducing the new people. So why? How? Because there's the way they make it change by changing the context. So the circumstance in decision making process. Okay, classical example of new theory in action is when a company enroll employees in 401 key plans. It means that worker must opt out if they don't want to participate. Because the traditional economic argue that people act rationally in their own best interest. But Taylor to introduce that people sometimes make a decision based on irrational decisions. So where's the need to achieve the help to achieve the financial goal? Another study is about anti-smoking behavior. It was flop. Help GE to address the issue of smoking. And then the employees in the treatment group each received $250 if they stop it for 6 months, and $400 if they stop it for 12 months. Those in the control group did not receive any incentive. The research found that the treatment group has a 3 times the success rate of the control, and even after the project's over and the effects persistence uh, the next 12 months. Similarly, another is, for example, about the McDonald policy. Uh, Typically, McDonald introduce their customer or encourage to ask their customer to upgrade their orders, and then Janet Schwartz indicate that in China restaurants they ask their customer to downsize their portion of side dish. And then what happened? The results. the percentage of the customer who did so in the field experience, 8 to 100 less calorie on average. Okay. Another study conducted by Gino 2020, uh, the the team also helped to reduce dishonesty because the project based on a customer in insurance company. She encouraged, she asked the consumers to set at the top of the forms at the end of the contracts when they're reporting how many miles they spend for driving their car at the previous year for insurance purposes. And then Gino encouraged the customer to sign on the top of the letter. Then the study indicate that they tend to be act honestly after signs on the top of the paper. So let's go to my research. Okay, let's talk about my research. A title, charity and brand credibility. Actually, the research already published in Journal of Humanomics with title, How Does Materialistic Attitude Influence the Impact of Corporate Brands on Consumer Intention to Donate? It's published in 2017. Okay, I wrote the article with my friend Kudu Cahaya now, from University of Western Sydney, Australia. Okay, before we talk about the applied of behavior economics, let me clarify what is charity. The research backgrounds. Charity is in Indonesia. Charity is associated with religion practice. The religious people tend to encourage to feed the hungry and provide clothes to the naked and help those who are in need. So it's tend to be religious, according to Mufti. And this practice has been also acknowledged as effective way of helping the vulnerable people from severe poverty. Okay. Go to the research gap. Why it is essential to read this research? Because this research combined between social activity, which is called as a charity, and the business activity, which is conducted by corporations. So integration of business charity activities is often as perceived as positive action, while some other studies argue that consumer may respond unfavorably. Theo and Tan said that many citizens tend to respond to the charity model with skepticism and began to raise question whether charitative activity and materialism aim to price free market capitalism. That's a Kodori and Fernando. Then also research gaps spring from the risk of taking advantage from charity traditions. Free society also believe that business should focus on profits. Yes. No need to take a look at social objective. So separate between business and social activity. Because charity will violate the basic economic aim of corporations. That's the idea. The purpose of charity and the purpose of business is different. That's a Friedman said. Okay, and then I raise a questions. The study raises some questions. First, does corporate brand credibility influence consumer intention to donate? So the second one is, does corporate brand equity influence consumer intention to donate? First is brand credibility. Second is corporate brand equity. So there's a two independent variable influence intention to donate. And then the question is the next question is materialism attitudes, whether materialism influence the relationship between corporate brand credibility and consumer intention to do needs. Let's also examine the impact of materialism on the relationship between matter, brand credibility and intention to do needs. Okay. The underpinning theory said that altruistic refer to behavior that benefits someone else or another organism. It is said by altruism theory. Of course, altruism can be sustained in a co-evolution setting. Okay, extreme form of altruism philanthropy can be found at religious movement. Yes, Kant's altruism associated with the ethical doctrine of consequentialism. With action is ethically right if it is bring good to others. Okay, that's altruism theory. On the other hand, there's a utilitarianism theory because we're going to take a look at the consumer behavior. From economic perspective, altruism is aligned with utilitarianism. It prescribes to maximum more good consequences than the actor. So the more you consume, the more utility that you can earn. The most popular one is Bertrand and John Stuart Mills, who argue that consumer always maximize the consume to gain more satisfactions. This is the basic economic theory of consumer behavior. Okay, and then charity may result in transaction cost if the safe signal are used. So it can yield infinite benefit when harness signal are used under condition of good governance. So brand credibility is essential to encourage their customer to support charity. Companies achieve more credibility from their involvement in social activities, of course. There's some research by Hertz and Mullard to support the hypothesis that brand credibility will encourage the customer to support the charity conducted by the company. However, there's some other research which argue that charity activity can support from business sector through exhibit for popular brands and which attract donor to fund. So not all, but some business sector that with the popular brand. So brand credibility associated with the popular brands. Okay, we go to the next hypothesis. Hypothesis 2. Brand equity. Does brand equity influence charity? Or the hypothesis 2 is brand equity influence charity because charity also increase exposure on their brands to public and invest more in campaigns and events. However, the failure to honor patents and copyright hinder the inward investment for introduction of brands. This is in China case. It's a research conducted by Palmer and Chance and Misaeli Du et al. In 2015. Okay, the next hypothesis, materialism has become context, which influence the relationship between charity and brand credibility. For customer with highly materialistic, they less concerned with ethical issue. Although they might not possess lower ethical standard than less materialistic consumer. That's according to Bakar. In some cases, there's a lack of significant relationship between distrust and materialism, which indicate that materialism was not involved in creating feeling of hesitancy, suspiciousness, and doubt to make efficient purchase decisions. That's according to Durvazula and Lisonsky. Okay, let's go to the research method. So, given the research question, the study used quantitative approach with information required. So we conduct a survey. We co-partnered with telecommunication industries. Then we select some variable. The variable is consumer intention we adopt from Lee and Chang 2007. Materialistic attitude was adopted from Richin and Dawson's. Hence, corporate brand credibility was measured using three items adopted from Ayrton's. Brand equity we adopt from Zoo 2012. Okay. The data collection, as I mentioned before, I conduct most of the survey targeted the customer in Jakarta, Indonesia, between 2015 and 2016. The total respondents are 409 who contribute to this study. They represent young consumer aged between 35 and 39 years, around 40%, while the rest belong to, oh, sorry, this is supposed to be 25 and 34, which represent 49% of populations. Okay. After conducting factor analysis, we found that the four variable meet the requirements with the Cronpa alpha and KMO. So the most of the Cronpa alpha is higher than 0.75, while the KMO, the lowest is 0.74. So we regress the result, indicate that the determinant is not significant. Okay, materialistic attitudes show that as a significance in three model. We use three model. The first model involve all variable. The second is we ignore brand credibility and magnitude and materialistic attitudes. Well, see, we can see that model ones. See, take a look at model ones. Material attitudes has a significant impact on three model. Corporate brand credibility significant in model 1 and model 3 when the time credibility times material attitude influence the intention to charity is happen in model 1 and model 3. Corporate brand equity or significant at model 2. So among three of them, the significant ones occur at model 3. The highest R square is happen in 2003 in model 3, but we cannot compare we cannot say that the model 3 is best because the name of the variable that we use is different. So we just compare. So after take a look at that result, we consider that this is the context. This is consumer intentions. This is brand credibility. The results show that this is the high materialist attitude. For the high materialist attitudes, the higher corporate brand credibility, the higher consumer intention to participate. For low material attitudes, same, but the slope, the line is a bit right on low. It means that one level of brand credibility has a more impacts on consumer intention to participate, while the slope tend to be horizontal in compared to that ones. We can say that the impact of brand credibility is less contribution to increase the consumer intention to participate. If you take a look at brand equity is whether the brand is quite known. So you take a look at the low materialistic attitudes. So slope almost similar, but high materialistic attitudes is slightly higher here in terms of constanta. So this study confirmed that consumer who trusted the recognized business organization will make a charity donations. So brand credibility encourage customer to donate more money. So it's mean that business is essential to charity. It will help, especially business with the brand credibility. Brand equity also influence consumer decision to be more immediate purchase based. The research also can support from the previous statistics which argue that consumers taking possession of luxurious goods tend to reinforce social isolation, which in turn imply on material trap. So last, this paper my contribution to the discussion on both altruistic theory and marketing study by establishing critical linkage between corporate brand credibility and consumer intention to donate. So okay, we will discuss later and ULS Upaya Seti. Okay. Thank you.